Here we go. Good evening, fight fans, and welcome to another live edition of Eastwick Boxing UK. Eastwick Boxing UK is an association with Three Kings Boxing and is sponsored by The Movement, so shout out to all the boys there. My panel today, I'm joined by some boxing royalty, guys. I've got all three of the Three Kings of Three Kings Boxing. My first guest, and well, let's call him my co-host, Willie the Kid. How are you, man?
I'm doing well, man. How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. My second guest, Prodigy of Boxing Talk, 2K. How are you, brother?
I'm doing good, man. I'm glad to see you fellas are doing well with the movement. I've been MIA for a little while, but even when I'm in MIA, the movement still continues. So I'm happy to see that.
Good stuff. Good stuff. And finally, my last guest, editor-in-chief of Three Kings Boxing, Seaburn Anderson. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, man. I'm glad to be on. I'm glad to see our UK side's getting picked up in the movement. You know what I mean? We got the ball rolling, and it's all downhill from here, guys.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, thanks to all three of you for coming on. Right, so I'm going to talk about a couple of things today. So my first topic, and hopefully the people that are watching this would have read on Three Kings Boxing yesterday that Eddie Hearn offered the WBA heavyweight mandatory challenger, Alexander Povetkin, a space on the undercard of Andy Joshua and Joseph Parker. So he offered this fight to two guys in his stable. So he offered the fight to David Price, and he offered the fight to Derek Chisora. David Price has come out today and accepted that fight. I mean, it remains to be seen whether that fight will be made. But he's come out and he's accepted it. And I've got to say, given David Price's history, it's a pretty fucking ballsy move.
Free smoke. Free smoke.
Pretty much. So, firstly, guys, do you think we'll actually see the fight? I'll throw out a third question. 2K, what do you think? Do you think we'll actually see the fight?
You know what? At this point, why do we fucking care? You know what I'm saying? Is a white version of Audley Harrison.
Well,
he at one point was highly touted coming out of the Olympics. A lot of people thought he was going to be somebody, and he ended up running into Tony the Tiger twice and got knocked the fuck out. So the first time he got knocked out, everybody was like, well, you know, he can come back. Then Tony turned around, did shit again. And then maybe 3 or 4 fights later, he runs into Erkan Tepper, gets knocked the fuck out. Then he runs into fucking Christian Hammer, gets knocked the fuck out again. These last two guys I just mentioned are lower tier heavyweights. Shit. Tony Thompson is a I think was Tony Thompson ever a champion? I don't think he ever held a belt. You know what I'm saying? I gotta look that up. But he was a highly touted contender at one time in heavyweight. We know that for a fact. But by the time he got to David Price,
Ring Prospect of the Year, 2012, David Price.
Right. So by the time he was Prospect of the Year. That's what I'm saying. He was highly touted. Tony Thompson got to David Price. He wasn't anybody that we really cared about. You know what I'm saying? Actually, Vladimir. Then he beat David Price, and so they thought, well, shit, put him in there with Kubrat Pulev, and then Pulev put him back to where he deserved to be. You know what I mean? So in essence, has pretty much lost that aren't really tier heavyweights in brutal fashion, and he's getting ready to fight a guy who shouldn't be fighting anymore, in my opinion. Should be banned boxing. But when you assess his skills, he is a top tier heavyweight. So what you think's gonna happen? How you gonna get knocked the fuck out? So will we see this fight? Possibly, because it's an easy fight for Alexander Povetkin. He should take it.
Good stuff. TK, Chris Seaburn, what do you think?
Yeah, we're gonna see the fight, guys. It's gonna be we're waiting on some contracts have been drawn up. I'm waiting on a call now on it. It appears we're gonna see the fight. The world of boxing, which is Povetkin and Ryavinsky. They're fine with it. And I'm gonna tell you what this is. This is like a setup for Joshua's next fight, in my opinion.
It is a setup.
Yeah, that was going to be one of my questions. Is this a sign that we will not see?
Yeah, and whenever that was a good article you did on this yesterday, Aaron. y'all haven't read it, jump on over there, check it out at threekingsboxing.com. He talks about it, and he touches on this at the end of the article. You know, he said, you know, he's speculating, but the speculation, it rings true right here. There's no other reason to have this to have Povetkin on this card. None. Zilch. Zero reason. How many times do you see Eddie Hearn working with Ryabinski? If he isn't an opponent, you see what I'm saying? Now he just brought him on. Yeah, this is a setup fight. And like 2K touched on, every time that Price has stepped up against anybody, he's got his ass knocked out. I mean, he would go 7 out of 24 rounds with Tony Thompson. He went 2 and 5 or some shit like that. It was, you know, and I don't believe Thompson was ever a champion, but I know he lost to Klitschko twice. And fighting for the unified title. Matter of fact, when he fought David Price, he had just come off of losing to Klitschko. And he was in his 40s, man.
I'm going to come out and say, because
Thompson's already in his 40s by then.
Because Amir Khan has some notable wins. David Price has a worse chin than Amir Khan.
Yeah, he's 6'9". He takes the term "big teddy bear" to a new level. And
he looks just like that.
Huh?
He looks just like a teddy bear, bro.
He damn sure does, man. Bear. And what you just seen with him and Christian Hammer is a lot more what you're going to see with him and Povetkin. I mean, Hammer and Povetkin are about the same exact size, so don't think just because he's holding about an 8-inch reach advantage over Povetkin that he has any shot here, guys.
Yep.
He has none. He has none. Povetkin, while I don't believe he should be boxing still because of the drug issues, I don't feel like he's arguably one of the top 2 or 3 skilled heavyweights in the division.
Yeah.
Guys,
behind Ortiz.
Let's play devil's advocate for just a second, because I get what he's saying. David Price has never had the hype in England that Anthony Joshua or even fucking Audley Harrelson had, right? There wasn't that hype to go with it. But David Price is a big guy, you know, as we just said, he's 6'9", he's got a big wheel. Just throwing it out there. The guy can hit pretty fucking hot. What if he does win?
I don't, fucker. I want to hit the lotto, but that shit don't happen. So you can forget about what if he does win. What has he shoot of a punch that makes you think that he could win? Footwork? Speed?
Nope.
Does he have the stamina?
Nope.
Yeah, this motherfucker said, I'm gonna
Who
take
knows
this
if he has stamina or not? He gets knocked out too quick.
Yeah. No, he doesn't have the stamina because the last time I saw him, a journeyman was taking him to school late in the fight.
Exactly. It was a fight in Germany. He went the distance back in, I think, in like 2014. Tired. It was only a 10-rounder. He was dead tired.
Yeah, this is all this is a good way, and I'm gonna break it down to you exactly what it is. This is gonna be a fight that's set up to make Povetkin look good, better, even better than what he should look. Again, to get Joshua versus Povetkin. He's the Mando, but let's be real. He doesn't have to cross this line to about 18 months down the road, but they want to cross it now.
Well,
why? Because you guys are going to go out and buy it. And what I mean by you guys, I mean you guys over there in the UK. Because it's a Joshua fight, period. So you're going to go out and buy it. All they're doing is just milking the clock. So they don't have to take the Wilder fight this year. We already went on record on my channel with the 2 guys that are on with me right now and saying that we probably won't see that fight this year any fucking way. But now this puts the everything in limbo, because if Fury comes back and looks good and is able to get down on some weight and able to lose some weight, this could push back AJ versus Wilder for another year.
Totally agree.
Now, guys, I'm going to bring up something interesting that I've read from several people across several boxing groups today. We all know that Tyson Fury is going to lose his lineal championship, I think in April or May. If I'm correct, he'll lose his title if he doesn't fight a top 5 heavyweight. Am I right in saying that?
If he gets stripped February the 1st, if he hasn't got some kind of agreement.
And it's got to be top 5, right?
No, it does not have to be top 5.
It just has to be a fight, I believe.
It's a top 15.
Because there is some talk with the amount of people, with the amount of guys that are busy with fights going forwards, that Hearn has made this fight to spite Fury. Now, I don't read into that too much myself, but there's an awful lot of people this side of the pond that are talking about that.
I don't see that angle because Hearn actually wants the Fury fight because that's going to make Hearn a lot of money.
It's the biggest fight in heavyweight in British boxing by far.
Period.
Well, I mean, it really doesn't matter when they make the Fury fight. As long as Fury is in shape, that's a fucking $1 million fight anytime.
Right, but it would serve them to make it sooner rather than later, just for the simple fact that, like you said, as long as Fury's in shape, don't count him out. To me, he does a lot of good things in the ring, even though people don't like him, whatever may be the case. So you guys actually, what this is going to all do is just really delay the heavyweight fight that people actually want to watch.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Well, people in all over the world except for your island, man.
Hey, you're not going to get any argument from me. I fully expect to see. It's too fucking obvious that Hearn's bringing Povetkin over. Not as he could fight this guy down the line. He's going to fight him next. It's what's going to happen. It sucks. It's bullshit. I know all four of us that are on this call right now we need to see the AJ Wilder fight next. I mean, that's all providing that obviously he gets past Ortiz, granted, but either or, you want to see the fight for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world rather than seeing AJ take on his WBA mandatory. Simple.
I want to see it this year. I don't.
You went out. You went out. See.
You went out. See.
I'm not here.
Yeah.
Okay, but I don't have to see it next, but I do want to see it. I do have to see it this year. Next, he may be mandated by the WBA because it was April of last year when he won his WBA title. Now, but if he is mandated by the WBA, odds are it's at the urging of Eddie Hearn. Now, what I mean by that is it's convenient. You know what I mean?
Now, let me ask you a question. I thought unification Charles Randall.
No, not.
Wait,
Chris,
you were going out.
Okay, hold on. I know what it is.
No, you're good now.
Yeah. All right. There is no unification. And as a super champion, which is what he is, he actually has a little bit more leniency than Olympia does. But I think October 29th is when they could mandate, the WBA can mandate.
He has more lenience with who?
With in the rules go.
Okay.
Only 18 months. What he's got to do is prove that he's made an effort to make the fight. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. I mean, they did that with Guillermo Rigondeaux, believe it or not. So that's how they were able to allow him to stay champion while he was on his layoffs. And Cats couldn't, even mandatories were dodging this motherfucker. He still, under those rules, was able to keep that belt.
Well, I'm worried about whether he's committed suicide or not. Hey, I ain't joking, man. I'm thinking the guy may have committed suicide or something, man. Everything's been shut down since December the 9th.
I don't know, I never heard of the freaking Yao guy. You know, oh man, poor fella.
Guys, what this has done is everyone's talking about heavyweight boxing. You know, for 10 years we had Vladimir Klitschko as our champion. Rightly or wrongly, these fights weren't all that exciting. Tyson Fury dethrones him. He get Tyson Fury. They get obviously has his personal problems and we get stripped. We have Wilder coming. Okay, Wilder. I think Wilder won the championship 3 years today. In fact, actually, he won the WBC by beating the major Stivan.
Describe to me what exciting is, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. If you win, you win. Like, you know, don't get me wrong. I think Klitschko was boring as hell to watch, but you got to tip your cap to him because him and his brother ruled that division for a while.
Oh, no doubt. But what I'm saying is, all of a sudden, heavyweight boxing is being talked about again like it used to, right?
Nah, I don't see that. I mean, yeah, people are talking about it, but I don't see the quality.
No, I agree.
Yeah, you mentioned like 4 or 5 names, which is good for the sport, by the way, that they're talking about these guys. But I could think of guys that never won a belt in the heavyweight division that will clean up in this one, in this era. You know what I mean? But it is what it is, man. I just think this is going to be.
Give me some names, man.
Shavers.
That's easy.
Shavers.
Yeah, we could go all day.
You want me to Shavers?
That's the case. Fuck it. Let's not do that.
Yeah.
Tony Tucker. I mean, we can go all fucking day. Mitch Green. You know what I'm saying? We can go all day. But I understand what Willie's saying. I understand what Willie's saying because I understand what both you guys are saying. Aaron is basically saying, in a nutshell, that the heavyweight division is the popularity is rising compared to how it was prior. But also understand what Willie's talking about, as in if we compare it to the heavyweight of the 90s, it's not quite where it should be, and the talent pool that we have in that division as of today will not get us where it could be and where it was back into the 90s and late 80s.
It's gonna suck some casuals in. Casuals love the division. Has always moved the sport. We all know that throughout history, division moves. As the heavyweight division goes, so those boxing. But for me, I'm not really big on the heavyweight division. I'm more into the 115 or 22 or 118 Tete versus the Monster. You know, things like that. You know what I mean? That's just my you know, because I like watching skills. But people are obviously this has come to the forefront. You know,
no doubt with guys like Fury and guys like Joshua, and the fact that, rightly or wrongly, don't hate me for this, guys, but we do tend to blindly follow our fighters. The heavyweight division it's a fucking big deal in the UK.
Yeah, for us, like 147, 154, those 3 divisions that I just mentioned right now are probably being talked about over more than the heavyweight division.
Okay, no, I completely take your point. Well, while we're on that point, and we're talking about guys with lighter fighters, I mean, thanks for all your input on that fight, guys. We also broke on Three Kings Boxing, I think it was yesterday evening, that Manny Pacquiao is in talks or wants to fight Vasily Lomachenko. Now,
you asked me,
that's a case of Aaron feeding the living. What on earth did God do it? Why? Just fucking why?
That's all that is, man. It's funny. I read that article yesterday while I was on the shitter. You know what I'm saying?
That's just what you think about that fight, then, right?
Exactly. That was the whole point and why I said that shit. You know, there's no reason why we should get excited to see Manny Pacquiao, the guy that just lost to a C-level fighter who is now being promoted as an A-level fighter by many people out there, and Jeff Horn. I mean, they're promoting him as an A-level fighter now because he beat Manny Pacquiao. That's how bad that fucking loss was.
But he beat an older version of Pacquiao. I think Manny Pacquiao wipes the floor with him back in 09 or something.
Of course. Yeah, you didn't even need to say that. That's obvious. But my point is, you know, it's It's the fact that he lost to a C-level fighter to that degree. Why the fuck are we thinking about being excited over a Vasyl Lomachenko fight? All this does is add another name to Vasyl Lomachenko's resume and becomes even more unstoppable when it comes to the Vasyl Lomachenko fans and how they're pretty much saying he is the greatest fighter of this era. It makes it almost unstoppable, man. You know what I'm saying?
On the flip side is guys like you, guys like everybody that are sitting here on this panel today. It doesn't actually do anything for it.
No, it doesn't. No,
it doesn't do nothing for me.
Yeah, no. I like to say, your listeners ain't gonna like what I say, but I'm gonna say because I gotta say. I've been seeing a lot of comparisons out there. They're talking about this Lomachenko, Mr. High Tech, Mr. Offensive Fighter, versus Floyd Mayweather at 130.
Yeah, whatever. I'm even gonna entertain.
All I'm gonna say to you motherfuckers is go do your motherfucking homework. Cause you're speaking out of hate. You're definitely not speaking out of knowledge. That fight ain't even fucking close to mine.
A 130-pound pretty boy Floyd, then you guys need to go to YouTube. You guys need to go to YouTube now. Sit the fuck down, shut the fuck up, and just watch.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm no Floyd fan, as Willie the Kid will tell you, but seriously, just no.
That's no knock on Vasyl, but this fight does nothing for me. It will move the needle with the casual fan because it is Manny Pacquiao and it is Lomachenko. So these are two highly likable guys that fans seem to like. So from their standpoint, it's great. For me as a pundit, I hate it.
Willie, let me expand on that, brother.
Go ahead, my brother.
It moves the needle off the fucking gauge, bro. Yeah. Not just with the casuals, but with boxing pundits who have an agenda. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
these motherfuckers,
Fat Boy.
Fat Boy, the new addition, Teddy Atlas, whom I highly respected for a very long time, and I still to this day believe somebody got to him, man. He just changed up who he is in a short amount of time. He just became one of the more brighter enthusiasts out there to a damn near casual in how he talks now. You see what I'm saying? He don't even talk boxing in the same fashion anymore. You know what I mean? So I feel somebody got to him. And, you know, there's plenty of others, Steve Kims and others that, you know, they jump on this bandwagon. You see what I'm saying? And if he beats Manny Pacquiao, regardless of the fact that Jeff Horn beat him, it will be 10 times better if Vasyl Lomachenko beats him because it's Vasyl Lomachenko.
Yeah.
That's the fucking problem right there.
But to the boxing purist, it's going to do nothing but draw. Well, just add fuel to the fire in the sense that, well, as TK's already pointed out, okay, well done. You went out and you beat another. I mean, let's bear in mind, in your last fight, Vasyl Lomachenko, you dragged a guy up from 122 to 130. Now you're dragging a guy.
Wait. Nah, fuck that. I can't let you get that. That guy dragged himself up to 130 for talking all that shit for years. Okay, he got what he deserved. Go ahead.
Okay, right. But devil's advocate, take my point, right? His last fight, he beat a guy that went from 122 up to 130. This time, he's going to potentially fight a guy, as 2K's pointed out, that is effectively a C-level fighter that hasn't looked the same for his last few fights, has campaigned at welterweight for however long it is. But he's old, he's faded. What is the fucking point? Why? I get why. And actually, one thing this does do, on the flip side, is this fight will be huge. And I was talking about this to C-Bone earlier. This fight is huge for ESPN.
Listen how
numbers for Top Rank. It's good for Top Rank, and that's it.
And that I agree with that 100%. But let's add this. It's a huge fight. Remember, it'll be a big fight with two big names. So what happens is you're going to have a lot of viewers. Look at the Vasyl Lomachenko Guillermo Rigondeaux fight. Didn't those cap at like 2 million views, right? Now,
a little over 2 million.
A little over 2 million. Now, Guillermo Rigondeaux is not a big name in the sport, guys. Now, remove Guillermo Rigondeaux and add Manny Pacquiao to that marquee.
That's
man, you can double the 2.5 million views. So like 5 million now. Hold on. So that's 5 million views that are watching Vasyl Lomachenko dominate a big name, regardless of the fact that he's washed, regardless of the fact that he's old, and regardless of the fact that he lost his last fight. He's washing a big name in front of 5 million viewers.
Can I play devil's advocate for a second here?
Go ahead.
And I'm gonna play devil's advocate from a number standpoint. You take Manny Pacquiao out of the equation, right? You take Guillermo Rigondeaux, right? And then give me the numbers that Basil Lomachenko did against Mariaga.
Yep.
But they're gonna try to tell you now that Basil Lomachenko is a big draw, just like they told you about Golovkin. And then you put it on pay-per-view, and it's 150,000 bucks.
Yeah.
He is a bigger draw than Golovkin already.
He might be, but let's be real about it. His numbers weren't great up until he got
the numbers that he had in the Mariaga fight were 900,000, almost the same as Crawford did for Indongo. All right, and both of those got fucked up though. Those wasn't you're not taking into account that those was on 4 different channels in the first hour.
Okay, I understand that, but what numbers did
I mean, he was doing $1 million plus on HBO.
So, okay, let's be honest then here. What numbers did Deontay Wilder do against a washed up guy on Fox? He did better than that. He did better than Mariaga or Sosa.
Fox is a network channel. It's not a cable channel, though.
Yeah, but everybody here has cable.
I mean, you got you're talking about another. I think it's 68 million. 68 million more homes that Fox is in than ESPN. So
yeah,
that's why they don't.
I don't see him being a bigger draw than a lot of the different guys out there. He is a draw, but that doesn't always equal to people point and viewers. And I think that's the reason why they're making this marquee matchups. And they're trying to make this fight is because Top Rank hasn't had great numbers at ESPN up until the Rigo fight. So,
oh man, they've done. Actually, the Rigo Lomachenko fight was the 3rd most watched fight. Pacquiao done right at 5 million. Beterbiev and
right. But what I mean is, you got to
Beterbiev done 2 million, a little over 2 million.
Know what I mean? Yeah, but Beterbiev came on right after a football game, didn't it?
Exactly.
That's why.
Yeah, it was the 3rd most, but the thing is with the Miguel Mariaga fight, which only averaged, I think it was like 728,
789, 729, something like that.
Something K views. The thing is that was his first time on there. That's number one.
Yeah.
And as he's
I
been,
wiped that one out pretty much.
As he's been on there, he's only increased. He hasn't decreased. So with that said, you put in a Manny fucking Pacquiao who just fought on ESPN. He's going to increase more.
This is going to be like a 5.5, between 4 and 6 million views.
Well, either way,
exactly.
It could be just 2.8 million. My point is, I think it will be more than Guillermo Rigondeaux, and even if it's the same as Guillermo Rigondeaux, I think the mission here is to have Vasyl Lomachenko exposed to more boxing fans, whether casual or boxing pundits on regular television, and that way he's dominating a named fighter, and it further pushes their agenda to have Vasyl Lomachenko the best fighter of this era. I guarantee that's why. That's the bigger picture.
Exactly.
That's the big picture.
It's brilliant promotion.
Yep, absolutely.
It's brilliant promotion. There's a reason Bob Aaron's been doing it so long, man.
I don't like the motherfucker.
It ain't coincidence.
You're never going to have me on the show and be like, oh, Bob, you the man. Nah, I don't like the motherfucker.
No, I can't stand the business model. It's bullshit. But it's bullshit.
But the track record speaks for itself.
It's going to work. It's already going to work.
Yeah, I mean, the track record speaks for itself, but I can also make a case where some of his top fighters, a matter of fact, that 1, 2, 3, outside of Manny Pacquiao, have left them and actually have better success without Bob Aaron.
I agree.
If you take De La Hoya, you take Floyd and Miguel Cotto.
I agree.
Aaron is good at building. That's what he's good at. That's why I say the young fighters they're good to sign with him.
Top Rank is great at matchmaking.
But you got to understand.
Good at building. He's good at building a fighter. Once he gets up there, he tries to control you too much, and you need to break away. You got to get away from him as your career is established.
Yeah, I agree 100%. That's why Crawford needs to get away. But this is the thing. You got to understand, this is an Eastern European fighter, right? Those guys don't do well on their own. They need a big entity backing their career. And that's exactly what's happening with Vasyl Lomachenko. And he's not going to go anywhere because he's gotten bigger than he would have ever gotten if he would have stayed with a Ukrainian-based promoter. You see what I'm saying?
Well, see, when he come out,
Povetkin comes to mind.
He was offered a deal by Mayweather and everybody. Lomachenko was.
Yeah, he was. And check this out.
He was offered a deal. They couldn't. Nobody else get him a title fight until like the third or fourth fight. Aaron could get it in the second.
Right. Check this out. Yeah. And Willie made a good point. Gennady Golovkin would be much bigger if he was signed with Top Rank. Much bigger.
Absolutely.
Or Golden Boy,
or Golden Boy, either one.
Or Golden Boy, or even TMT, who's not that great of a promotional company, but you'll get that exposure, and you get people that are gonna follow you that otherwise wouldn't follow you. You know what I'm trying to say? So exactly. Yeah, K2 is horrible in the States when it comes to big fights. Even the other guy, Main Event, they're horrible as well. I mean, shit. So
well, it just proves the point that a guy like Bob Arum, the type of clout that he brings into the sport of boxing, it's good for Eastern European fighters or other fighters that come from countries that don't really have that type of clout from the promotional standpoint to sign with this guy, because if he has the skill and if Bob Arum sees you as a niche that he feels he can make a lot of money from, he's going to build the fuck out of you. And that's what we're seeing with this Vasyl Lomachenko model, man.
Now, what I would say about this is a lot of people make a big deal about Lomachenko and what is it now? 10 fights, 11 fights, or whatever it is, 10-1, whatever. 11 fights, right? Oh, look at the guys he's fought. Well, if you're in the UK and the United States, our guys don't have the kind of amateur backing that these guys have. They basically fight for free.
Right.
Okay. So if you're one of these cats that turns pro at the age of 25, 26, this is the shit you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I don't know. I mean, a lot of them turn pro that and don't do nowhere near this. Yeah, but I see what you're saying, man.
This is what they're supposed to do. If you have over 400 amateur fights, this is what you're supposed to do.
Well, see, I don't do it. To me, amateurs and professionals are two different circuits, obviously, right?
Completely different.
So I don't say that just because you had this many amateur fights, you should be able to walk into the professional circuit and be a champion within 10 fights.
Absolutely.
I don't equate the two. But I see what you're saying. I mean, look at Gervonta Davis, for example. A lot of cats don't understand. Tank had a huge amateur career. It was very prestigious. I think he had something like 260 wins and like 11 losses or something to that degree. That's a very respectable amateur career, right? Yep. But look how they're trying to push him now. Oh, he's still a prospect. Even though this motherfucker was a former champion without losing his belt in the ring, they're still calling him a prospect, and he needs to build himself. That doesn't it doesn't equate in that scenario. You see what I'm saying?
The point I'm trying to make was that our guys, whether it's in the UK or the United States, sometimes they turn pro and they have to learn on the job. Yeah, these guys' learning curve is a little bit more advanced in the sense where, you know, they know styles, they know how to turn an opponent, they know how to use angles, they know how to do things that some pros, when you are 18 years old, you might not necessarily know.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, they if you're elite now, that's if they're elite level amateurs.
Right.
Yeah.
Most of them don't get to do it.
Most of them don't get to do it.
The Cubans have the same advantage. Cuba has the same advantage. All right, most of their guys are the same exact way.
Well, it's a difference. The Cubans have to be amateurs. These guys choose to be 25 and still be amateurs.
But that's what I was gonna say. You got to look at Vasyl Lomachenko, right? I mean, Vasyl is what, 28 years old. I think he turned pro at what, 27. You know what I'm saying? 25, yeah. And the reason why he turned pro so late is because his father told him, hey, professional ranks. Under Usyk, He's 31 right now. See, these guys have been in the amateurs for a very long time, and they turn professional late. That's why they're elite.
Yeah.
At 21, 20, 19, 18, shit, 15 like Canelo and a lot of other Americans do around here, they wouldn't be as successful as they are today.
Right. Like, I don't want you guys to think that I'm equating both amateurs and pros, because there's two different styles. No. You know, what I'm making, my point that I'm making is that their learning curve is more ahead than our guys. They have a more opportunity to learn on the job as an amateur than they do as a pro, because our guys turn pro at 18, 19 years old, and you see them 23 fights in, and they're still learning.
The reason why I disagree with the learning curve is if you're saying are able to absorb boxing technique better than American fighters. I disagree with that. What it is the fact that they stick around in the amateur circuit. We do. That's just the bottom line. There's plenty of guys. I mean, there's plenty of guys that I feel amateur circuit longer as Americans came out and become professionals and done the same thing Lomachenko did.
Yeah.
There's plenty of guys like that.
Yeah.
Do that shit. Floyd Mayweather could have done it. Floyd Mayweather could have still been an amateur up to 28 years old, came out and still did the same shit he did. Probably not as well as he did, but I think he still would have been in multiple divisions just because of the skill set that he possessed.
Yeah. You got that God-given ability.
From a UK perspective, as I was saying on a show the other day, we generally tend to piggyback off of big events like the Olympics. I mean, guys like Frankie Gavin he's the only British world amateur champion. I mean, he's come out and he's not done very, very well at the pro game. But for a lot of British Olympian fighters, so guys like Anthony Joshua, guys like more recent guys like Povetkin and various, Luke Campbell, guys like that. For them, it's the law of the big, because we tend. I mean, you can even trace back nearly 20 years to Audley House, and the money for them is too great not to refuse, and so that nobody says I'm going to stick around in the amateur game for another 4 years and hone my skills. They get a whiff of money under their nose. It's like, you could be making this much, right? Fuck it, I'm going to turn pro.
And that's what happens to Americans as well.
That's what happens to us. That's what happens to America. The big discrepancy there. Like, there's some guys that get houses and shit in other countries. Like, oh, you want this medal? Oh, thank you. You know what? That's your house now. Our guys don't have that advantage. Where some of our guys got to feed families and take care of their people around them. So they got it like, okay, I got to turn pro, and then you basically learn on the job. And things and so on. But I don't want to even.
On top of all this, top of all that, our fucking coaches have gotten a lot worse.
Oh hell yeah!
Deontay Wilder did. Deontay Wilder won a bronze medal in the Olympics, but it's all well documented with the problems with his daughter. So he had to turn pro to do that. I mean, if Wilder would have stuck around in the amateur background for a little while longer, fuck knows what he'd be capable of.
That's actually an excellent point. I can't even.
Well, I think the whole idea, I want to expand on what C just said with our coaches and trainers, man. That's become an epidemic across sports on a global scale.
Yeah.
You've got coaches in NBA, coaches in the NFL. They no longer coach. They allow these players to coach them. And that's what we're also seeing in boxing.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you got the fucking fighters coaching the trainer, and the trainer just there for the ride so he can make a little bit of dough just in case his fighter becomes a world-class fighter. Well, that's the problem you end up having. A lot of these fighters, they don't know the basic. Hold on, they don't know the basics, and they don't know how to basically adjust whenever they get hit with adversity in the ring. Right? That's what your coach is there for, but your coach don't know what to do either.
Yeah, because you know why your coach just started watching YouTube videos and he doesn't know much. But and
do pretty mitt work.
Wait, and another thing is that they're so busy trying to look good doing mitt work that they don't even know. Okay, stick your chin in. Your chin is out. Like I used to get my ass rocked doing mitt works if I stuck my chin out.
Absolutely.
These guys don't have that anymore because their coaches want to look good for Facebook.
Yep.
I've got my legs swept because I was squared up. I did everything, man.
Yep.
And 99% of the time when you watch these guys on the mitts, they're all squared up. They're all
I
that shit is
I
useful.
swept the gym so much in my life that I never want to sweep again.
Well, the biggest example of that I can think of that didn't have a big that's recent over here, that hasn't had the amateur career and is effectively living off of, I don't want to say living off the fame of his father, because he is trying to make his own way. But I saw in his last fight that this all action style and this fan pleasing bullshit that they want to do, and that's Conor Benn. Conor Benn had a very limited amateur. No amateur background. He's come out. He wants to be like Pop. I mean, he got his ass busted up in that.
Yeah,
he won't have too long a career if he wants to pull that shit off.
I honestly believe that he hurt himself by turning pro.
Ben is not.
He didn't have to turn pro.
No, I was getting ready to say that's not a very good example.
Yeah, because Conor Benn.
I watched.
Conor Benn reminds me of our version, Arnold Hearns.
Oh yeah.
Look good against C, D level, F level fighters. He lost to a cat named Harry Joe Yorgi. Harry Joe Yorgi. He went in there with that cat, who was another C level fighter, and knocked him smooth clean the fuck out. And then Laura got to him, and other cats got to him. But that's who Conor Benn reminds me of. He's the UK version of Ronald Hearns.
Mm-hmm. And then there's another guy that you guys don't like that has a father, but it's a gym rat, and you could see improvement in his game, and that's Eubank Jr.
Yep, no doubt about that.
I got a video pending on him, man. I'm not sold. I won't go too far into this because it's not a topic.
No, but I'm not sold on him. But I he's growing on me, I would say.
Yeah, we'll save this for another show because
I'm not sold on him. I'm not sold on him, but he's not very technically sound. He's a gym rat. He's put himself in the correct division where he can get away with not being technically sound.
Exactly.
Amen.
Amen to that, bro. You made the perfect fucking point. See, that's what happens when you get knowledge on your show, Aaron. We talk about everything.
Hey man, I'm enjoying this. It's appreciate.
There's a reason Billy Joe Saunders beat him.
Say that again, Seabird.
Yeah, he beats him again.
Billy Joe would beat him again. You're absolutely right.
They rematch.
Yeah,
There's a reason, Billy.
There's levels to this shit.
I'm hoping. Well, you know what? No, you know what? Fuck it. We are going to talk about it. I'm going to do this in another show, but we are going to talk about it now. Just real quick, I want you guys to come off the fence. George Groves, Chris Eubank. Who wins and why?
Oh shit! This Chris Eubank.
Easy for me because George Groves is no longer the George Groves that fought James DeGale, right? The George
or Paul Front.
Yeah.
Shit, I've actually seen him.
I had a whole lot of that George Groves.
George Groves is my boy. I have seen improvement in him. I have.
That's probably why you're a bit blinded because that's your boy. Yeah. George Groves. George Groves he's a long time. Look at this. Look at what he does. Back in the day, he used footwork, right? He could actually box you from the outside. Today, he's more on the inside. He's giving his opponents opportunities on the inside, right? He likes to be at mid-range distance instead of actually popping the jab from the outside. I mean, he may do it. He may do it. Do it. He's more so in the pocket to be wide open for guys like Chris Eubank Jr.
He should be fighting. He should be fighting a mid-long range distance. In other words, everything he should do should go behind his jab, and he should use every inch of his fucking reach. This is why it took him 4 times to win the world title.
Yep, exactly.
I'm kind of wishing I hadn't gone down this rabbit hole now. Kind of wishing I hadn't done it.
My bad.
Yeah. They're spot on, man. They peeled it right on.
Just for the folks listening, I am blind. Yeah, 2K's right. I am blinded. George Groves has been my boy. I've watched him. I've followed him his whole career. So it's 3-1. Okay, the guys think that Eubank Jr. is going to win. I'm thinking completely with my heart and saying that George Groves is going to do it. But fuck it.
And you know, that's why we're here, to keep your ass in check, because you think too much with your damn heart. And you know, we like to call this shit down the middle, man. I mean, you see me praise fighters.
I mean, I don't. Let me say this. I favor Eubank Jr. about 80-20 here. There's a small chance that Groves, veteran, man. He's been in there with a lot better fighters than Eubank has. So there's some little stuff that you're going to see him do early on that'll benefit him. But I think by round 6, 7, 8, it becomes a one-sided fight.
Now I'm asking you guys this, Aaron. Let me ask you guys, all you guys, this. Will you be shocked if Groves won? I certainly wouldn't be.
No, I wouldn't. At the end of the day,
Absolutely not.
I've said it before. Take a look at BJ Saunders aside. You look at the caliber of guys that Chris Eubanks has been in with. Okay, he fought and beat a very, very faded Arthur Abraham. George Groves has been in. He's done the big nights. He's done the big fights. Okay, he has come up on the losing end. The Badou Jack fight was close. He was beating Frotch up until the point he got stopped in the first one. Even in the second one, he was ahead on one of the cards. You know, he's been there. He's done it. And the one question that I've got about Chris Eubank Jr. is his chin, right? And George Groves is a pretty big puncher at super middleweight. I mean, he could easily make light heavyweight. He's a big guy for the division. We've all seen the sparring videos of him, Chris Eubank sparring Carl Frotch.
Can I make a point?
The fact that the punches were being taken, but that don't mean shit with headgear and 14s on. Can Chris Eubank Jr. take a punch? That's the big question that I want to ask. Go.
At what point? Now he's getting up there in age, right?
He's about 30, same age.
Yeah, that's pretty much old in boxing terms when you have been knocked out to the point where he was knocked out the way he was knocked out. Okay. So at what point does your body catch up to you when you're cutting so much weight? Like you say, he's a big dude for 168. So at what point does your body catch up to you and says, fuck you, I can't do this shit no more? And you go in there looking all sluggish.
In actual practice, that's probably why he's suffered so badly with the stamina, because he could make 175, but he hasn't.
Exactly.
So no, I completely take your point.
At what fight does that start to show even more? That's what I mean. So
it's going to be, if it's going to be any fight, it's going to be this one, because you can bet. I expect the first. The fight's going to go one or two ways. If
it's going to be the tale of two
Eubanks
fights, Aaron. If he goes into the second half, it's going to be the first half and the second half. It's going to be the tale of two fight. I believe he's going to fade. If this fight goes all the way down the stretch, once you get into the championship round, I believe he's going to be faded.
No, I can take that.
Go ahead, Chris.
I would say the same thing, but the only thing that would make me hesitant from believing that is we really don't know what Eubank has at that time either.
And that's a great point too.
Well, a lot's being, if I'm being perfectly honest, from a UK perspective, because this fight, obviously, it's I've written about it a couple of times on threekingsboxing.com, is that we have sort of we're synonymous with the super middleweight division, and there's a lot being made of this fight. This fight's being it's probably being talked about, if not more, than the Andy Joshua fight right now, and I've got to be honest. It's not public opinion is not in the Saints' favor. There is an awful lot of opinion out there that I think this has surprised me.
Who do you guys favor over there?
Say that again.
Who do you guys favor over there? Who's the favorite?
It's clean for Eubank Jr. There's just so much belief.
Can I propose a trade?
Go for it.
We'll take Eubank Jr. like him. And you guys can have Adrian Broner.
Can I propose you fuck off?
You know what? I don't want either one of them. I don't want Eubank Jr. either. So,
yeah, I'm not. I'd rather have Callum Smith.
2K, I'd rather have the gym guy. Hey, 2K, I'd rather have the gym guy than the bar guy.
Man, I don't want the gym guy that's not really that good either.
Yeah, but you got to go to Eastwick, bro, and go check out the new Adrian Broner video that Shaq put out.
Yeah, no, that was yeah, I saw that.
That's just ridiculous, man.
Yeah, I saw
There's another one. Adrian Broner right there, over 300 amateur fights.
Yep.
So So Cubans, right? So Cubans, they like to defect to America. Can you guys not just stick Adrian Broner on a boat and kick him over back to Cuba? Would that not work?
They'll send him back.
That's actually a good point. We'll have Bo drop him off.
They'll send him back.
They'll send him back.
They would send him back.
You're getting deported.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
They would send his ass back.
You know,
They will call
Trump.
Trump.
They really will.
Good
Back,
stuff.
'cause we don't have a Americans can't just go to Cuba and tour. We don't have that permission.
yeah.
Work. That's the only way we can be in Cuba.
You can't even use your MasterCard over there, can you?
Nope.
I don't know about
You
that.
might be able to.
I haven't
in
been
some
over there in quite
resorts,
some time, man. It's been
you now. I think you
it's been
can fly
20 years
from
since I went over there.
right now. I'll break it down for you. Now I think you could fly from the U.S. to Cuba. You can't do that now. I don't know how it is under the new administration, but it became like that under the last presidency. I don't know how this clown we got now in the presidency is. You know, I don't know how what policies, the way the policies have changed. But I would tell you from a person that actually known a lot of Cubans, they used to have to go over to Canada and then from Canada fly to Cuba. So
I get it.
there
Right,
is-
bring
there
it back
is-
to the sport of boxing, guys.
Right.
let's talk boxing. Let's not. I set us down a rabbit hole. But the answer is no. We don't want Adrian Broner. You can't have him. If you at least humor me and send someone half decent, right?
Oh man, listen. I don't know, man. I don't know who you're gonna send over there. I do know that you guys have some matchups that you guys are all looking forward to.
Yeah.
Now I saw somebody. You did a story about what's his name? Ted Cheeseman.
We'll talk about.
Wait. I saw somebody mention and say that he's elite. And
He's elite.
yeah, one of these British guys went on. I posted a story in one of the groups, and the British guy said Ted Cheeseman is elite.
Was he smoking crack? What group did you find this in? Backendcrackboxing.com.
I forget the name of the group, but it was a British group. I forget the name of
That's
it.
obvious.
Real quick. I wrote an article on it. Carson
The guy
Jones has
said,
come
wait.
over here.
The guy said he was elite. You know what I told him?
God almighty.
I told him the famous 2K line. Get the fuck out of here.
Fuck out of here.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do.
Man, I didn't,
Because we're going to wrap things up.
Are you pulling our leg or something, Wilson? For real?
No, I swear to God on everything that I actually read that.
No, guys.
Wow.
Right. Guys.
I mean, who the fuck's this guy's biggest win? Matthew Ryan, maybe? Another prospect?
Yeah, that's about it. So I mean, Carson Jones has come over here. He gave Kell Brook out.
Carson Jones very well may beat him.
Hey, Aaron, I wanted to ask you a question.
No, he will beat him. There is no very well. He's not even the best.
I wanted to ask you a
He's not
question.
even the best 154 in Britain.
Aaron, I wanted to ask you a question. Who's your the prospect that we should look out for over there this year, in your opinion?
There's define
Josh
right.
Kelly,
So
man.
Yeah, there's two. Hold on, he asked me the question. Right, so Josh Kelly, absolutely. You don't have
You know that.
Are you supposed to know that right off the bat? Like that's actually one of the guys I picked to be my prospect of the year this year.
You see, I had two, so it's either Josh Kelly or Taylor.
Taylor ain't a prospect no more. I don't see him as a
He's
prospect.
11 fights in.
He's past that now.
He's a fucking.
was just
contender. He just knocked out
Yeah,
Miguel Vasquez. He's a contender now.
That was a very
Definitely
impressive win, right, 2K? In your opinion, the way he beat Vasquez, that was a very impressive win. Because
Brother,
I believe he was the first one to stop him.
brother, he was the first one to stop him, and that's a Miguel Vasquez that fought Canelo twice, and still didn't get stopped. So yes, hell yeah, and it was a body shot. Yes, that's extremely impressive. Hell yeah.
I feel like he's their best prospect, to be honest with you.
I think he's
Well,
beyond that
I
prospect title.
can't say he's a
He
prospect.
ain't a prospect no
I
more.
can't say he's
Yeah.
a prospect.
I look at
Yeah,
him
I
in 2018 as a contender.
Well,
Yeah.
there you go.
I
Live
called him.
on Eastwick.
I called him up.
Okay, Willie the Kid was nice about a British fighter. You heard it here first.
I moved him. I actually
He's
moved him
a-
past prospect
Yes,
after he
now,
beat Davey.
That's what I was getting ready to say. See, when he beat O'Hara Davies, he was no longer a prospect at that point.
Exactly.
And the way that he beat O'Hara, knocked him the fuck out.
He
Prospect at that point. And then beating Miguel Vasquez, I expect him to get a title shot pretty goddamn soon.
Absolutely.
He's got a fight scheduled for March the 3rd, I believe, but I'm not sure. I don't think he's got an opponent yet.
Yeah. Oh, he's got TBA. TVA? Yeah. That TVA guy going to get
he's fighting
that out. Ted Bob. He's fighting Ted Bob Anderson.
TBA on BoxRec, but yeah, okay. They probably haven't updated it yet. But, yeah, he deserves a title shot at some point this year, man. I mean, he's definitely no longer a prospect. Yeah. I think Josh Kelly's I
don't know where he gets to that at 140 pounds.
Look, so you got a Mary Mom who will be the champion after he beats Ramirez. Who's the WBO?
WBO is, I think Flanagan and Hooker's getting ready to fight for it.
Yeah, Flanagan
they are.
And Hooker.
Yep. Maurice Hooker. Yep. It is open, right? And then
I announced that fight today. Baranchek and Yiggett, I believe. It's on the website. I announced that fight earlier today.
Okay. Well, you got two belts right there, the WBO and the WBA. Slide up in there and become one of the mandatories for those two guys, right? And he could be the mandatory for a Mary Mom. Those three don't have high top level trying to get those vacant belts. You see what I'm saying? Now the IBF belt is a little different. You got Mikey Garcia. Whenever that fight whenever they reschedule that fight, when Mikey Garcia beats Sergey Lipinets, well, then you got an issue right there. You don't want Josh Kelly fucking with Mikey Garcia.
You're going to have
well, he's away from that anyway, guys. I mean, he's had 4 fights. He'll go to British level to start off with. You probably won't see Josh Kelly in the world scene for 2 years.
I meant Josh Taylor. It was an accident. Josh Taylor.
Taylor you will definitely see in the world scene within the next 12 months.
No, Josh Taylor definitely needs a title shot, but Josh Kelly, that should be your prospect of the year. Him and you can even add Daniel DeBose in there. He's also another guy that can be prospected.
That was actually the name I was hoping he would say.
I like that game. Yeah, we got some decent we have got some decent prospects coming through. I mean,
I like the fact that he sticks his jab.
Yeah. That's the hardest thing to teach a young fighter, to use that jab.
I think when we had a show, one of our shows on the Three Kings show, we talked about that. I was talking about how important it is as a heavyweight, and me and 2K went on and on about that. And the kid seems to fight behind his, and that's very important in the heavyweight division.
I mean, he's only 19 going on. I think he's turning 20 soon. So
but he knocked down But he had a nice gym war where he knocked down that so-called God of yours. Go ahead.
That's the one time that in the press conference from Joshua a couple of days ago, that's the one fighter he didn't mention that had dropped his ass.
How about this, man? I just took a glance at the rankings for 140 pounds. Taylor's only ranked in two sanctioning bodies. Guess which ones they are? Huh?
IBF.
IBF and WBC. One Progress is getting ready to fight for. Him and Pastel.
I mean, Taylor's problem is whether his promoters can get him those big fights. Because he's
number 5
promotions.
He's number 5 in the WBC.
So he's Taylor's with Barry McGuigan and his boys. If it had been with Hearn, I'd have expected to see Taylor in a world title position a lot faster.
Hey, 2K, I just tagged you on that post.
I think I've seen that post.
That's just about all the time we've got for today. I want to thank you guys very much. For everyone who's listening, seriously, there's a hell of a lot of knowledge that these guys bring. So look out for their own shows. I'll let them tell you where you can find them in a second. 2K, where can we find you?
Oh, man, you need to go to everybody else, man. I'm the leader of the movement. I need to go ahead and give my leader speech. You know what I'm saying? I got to give my leader speech, man. Willie, where can they find you, man?
Oh, shit, everywhere.
Well, you're going to find me here
Eastwick Boxing UK. I'm kind of like co-host of this shit because it's kind of like my sister channel to my other channel, which is Eastwick Boxing Talk on YouTube. Three Kings Boxing on YouTube. ThreeKingsBoxing.com. I'm a co-founder of that. We also have Three Kings Boxing on Facebook, Three Kings Boxing on Twitter and Instagram, and Eastwick Boxing on Twitter if you want to talk to me directly. Also, we have the Eastwick Boxing group on Facebook, which is where all of us are at, and pretty much where we all pretty much met and talked all this stuff. And also I'm a co-host on Truth and Facts About Boxing with my man Bo. I'm also a co-host on Four Corners Boxing Blog Talk Radio with my man Sebo Henderson. And every once in a while, when 2K don't feel like being greedy with his channel and shit, I'm over there too.
Should have went first.
Damn. All right, guys, you can find me threekingsboxing.com. If you got any questions, you can email us at questions@threekingsboxing.com. If you're looking to become a writer, you want to try your hand at writing in this industry, you can send your samples in at writing@threekingsboxing.com. And if they ain't worth a shit, I'm gonna tell you. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'll send it back to you and tell you it's fucked up. And you can also find me on Twitter at Four Corners Boxing. That's without the G on the end. Same on Instagram, Facebook. You can find me at all the places Willie the Kid just mentioned. I'm in and out of these shows. Try to make as many appearances as I can. There's us three have a we make a concerted effort that one of us three needs to be on just about every show we can.
Absolutely.
And so we try to get in and out, and if we can, we try to get together and do a show. You can also find us Three Kings Boxing on YouTube. The Four Corners Boxing YouTube channel will be starting in the next week. And so you can also, you got Facebook, Four Corners Boxing Talk. And I'm all the time in Eastwick Boxing. That's about the only group I'm in. I mean, unless somebody comments on something or, tags me here and there, I'll go answer a question here and there. But that's it, man. Get behind the movement, guys, because we're on our way. We're on our way. And,
absolutely. It's this has been something that has been brewing for quite some time. It started with my channel. I've got in touch with guys like Willie the Kid, who's helped me along the way. Chris Seabone Henderson, who was always a guest on other podcasts that I've been a part of and that I had up and running at one point in time. And with those two guys, we formed, of course, Three Kings, which is a podcast that's coming soon. We're trying to get that up and running sometime this month. But while the podcast is still in the pretty much the design phase, we do have a YouTube channel where we will update periodically. Most recently, we will be updating with the Lamont Peterson Errol Spence prediction video on that channel. So go check us out there. Also, of course, these guys have already mentioned threekingsboxing.com. It's co-owned by us three. We have featured writers like Mr. AC Aaron here with Eastwick UK Boxing, and many other guys out there from all over that feature content on that particular website. And then, of course, my channel, Prodigy of Boxing Talk. It's the most controversial channel on YouTube, man. Like I tell cats, you're either going to love me, you're going to hate me. There is no in between. And even the motherfuckers that hate me, they still come back and listen to what I got to say. So it is what it is. If you support the movement, understand you supporting 2K and you're supporting all the 2K's goons. And there's just three of them right here. So it is what it is. Big ups to my man, Willie the Kid, for getting his channel shouted out by people we don't know. So big ups to my man C-Bone for getting Four Corners Boxing Talk on Blog Talk Radio up and running. We've already got some pretty good interviews on there. And then he will be doing his channel as well. So big ups to him. Also, man, he's killing the articles on 3kingsboxing.com. Very good content. Puts a lot of the information out there before a lot of anybody else does. And that includes the bigger sources out there.
A month ahead, motherfuckers. Go ahead.
And also big ups to my man AC, man, here at Eastwick Boxing UK for getting his channel up and running. And we will be pushing this, man. You're going to see my face all over the fucking place because this is the movement.
Yeah, I had to twist this motherfucker's arm to get this channel running, but we here.
Yeah, well, better late than never, right? Better late than never. Guys, once again, thanks very much for taking part. As well, you can find me, as already been said, I'm going to be doing a hell of a lot more of these. As the guys have said, I'm a feature writer for 3kingsboxing.com, specifically Cooper's Corner and Today in Boxing History, so look out for those. Of course, you can find me in Eastwick Boxing, and Eastwick Boxing UK at Twitter is now available as well, so if you've got any questions direct, you can come and find me on there. Guys, it's been great having you on. We are the movement. We are coming. Speak to you later. Bye-bye.